The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, dotted with distant stars that flickered like tiny diamonds against a black canvas. The human exploration vessel Horizon drifted silently, its sleek metallic hull reflecting the soft blue light of its internal systems. Captain Hyun Park sat in her command chair, her eyes fixed on the holographic display that mapped their current trajectory. She was young for a starship captain, but her eyes held the wisdom of someone who had seen more than most humans ever would. Her fingers tapped lightly on the armrest, a habit she'd developed during long space journeys. The ship's AI, Aria, suddenly broke the silence. "Captain, detecting unusual energy signatures approaching from Sector 7. Hyun leaned forward. Unusual meant something new, and in space, new could mean anything from a scientific breakthrough to an imminent threat. "Show me," she commanded. The holographic display shifted, revealing a cluster of massive vessels unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. They were not geometric like human ships, but organic-looking, almost like massive metallic creatures, with tentacle-like appendages that seemed to pulse with an alien energy. "Incoming transmission," Arya announced. The communication was not what anyone expected. It wasn't a greeting or a diplomatic message. It was a cold, calculated statement of intent. Human vessels detected. Threat assessment complete. Extermination. Protocol activated. Before Hyun could respond, the first wave of attacks began. Massive energy beams cut through space, transforming human colonies into clouds of burning debris. Entire settlements, decades of human expansion and hope, vanished in moments. On the horizon, alarms blared. Emergency protocols kicked in automatically. Hyun's training took over, her voice calm despite the chaos around her. "All hands, prepare for emergency quantum jump. Defensive systems at maximum." The ship shuddered. External sensors showed multiple attack vectors. These aliens weren't interested in communication or understanding. They saw humanity as a problem, to be eliminated. In the research bay, scientists scrambled to preserve critical data. Technical teams worked frantically to maintain ship integrity. Young crew members who had trained their entire lives for space exploration now faced the reality of potential extinction. Arya's voice remained steady. Probability of survival decreasing. Current estimate, 14.3%. Hyun understood what that meant. They weren't just fighting a battle. They were fighting for the entire human species. 3 more colonies went dark on the star map. Millions of lives extinguished in seconds. The alien vessels moved with a precision that suggested not just technological superiority, but a cold, calculated ruthlessness. "Who are they?" Hyun whispered, more to herself than anyone else. The horizon made its quantum jump just as a massive energy beam sliced through the space it had occupied moments before. They had escaped, for now, but escape wasn't victory. It was merely a temporary reprieve. In the quiet moments after the jump, Hyun looked at her crew. Young faces, scared faces, determined faces. They represented humanity's last hope. "We're not done," she said quietly. "Not by a long shot." Arya calculated their current status. Fuel reserves, 62%. Weapon systems, partially operational. Crew morale, low but resilient. The first contact had been a disaster. The aliens had made their intention clear. Humanity was to be erased from the galactic equation, but they didn't know humans very well. Survival wasn't just about technology or weapons. It was about adaptability, determination, the ability to transform challenge into opportunity. As the horizon drifted through an uncharted region of space, its crew began to plan. Not just a defense, not just a counterattack, a revolution. The game had changed, and humanity was about to show the galaxy exactly what they were made of. Outside the ship's windows, stars continued their silent dance, indifferent to the drama unfolding among them. Somewhere in the vast darkness, the alien fleet believed they had won. The underground research facility hummed with a quiet intensity. Buried deep beneath Titan's frozen surface, it was humanity's last hope, a secret haven where the survivors of the alien attack gathered to plan their revenge. Commander. Kim walked through the main corridor, her boots making soft sounds against the metal floor. Around her, scientists and engineers worked with a desperate energy. They weren't just researching, they were reimagining what it meant to be human. In the central lab, holographic displays flickered with complex genetic sequences and quantum computing models. Aria, the advanced AI system, projected its blue-tinted image, analyzing data faster than any human mind could comprehend. We're more than just survivors, Yoon muttered to herself. We're becoming something new. The genetic modification program was unlike anything in human history. Scientists were rewriting the very code of human biology. Enhanced neural connections, accelerated healing capabilities, improved cognitive functions that pushed the boundaries of human potential. A young researcher named Park approached Yoon with a data tablet. "We've made a breakthrough," he said, his voice trembling with excitement. "Look at these preliminary results." The screen showed a human cell that could adapt and transform in real time. It wasn't just healing, it was evolving. Each genetic modification made the human body more resilient, more capable of surviving in extreme conditions. Aria's voice cut through the excitement. Adaptive warfare protocols are now 73% complete, technological integration proceeding at exponential rates. Outside the facility, Titan's harsh environment served as the perfect camouflage. The frozen moon looked like nothing more than a lifeless rock to any potential alien scans. But beneath the surface, humanity was preparing its greatest weapon. Itself, Dr. Yoon watched as a group of volunteers underwent the first complete genetic modification procedure. Their bodies glowed with a soft blue light as nanobots rewrote their genetic code. These weren't just soldiers. They were the first of a new kind of human. "We will not be victims," Yoon told the team. "We will be hunters." The weapons development division worked in parallel. Traditional missiles and energy weapons were being replaced by something entirely new. Quantum-entangled projectiles that could change their trajectory mid-flight. AI-driven combat systems that could think and adapt, faster than any biological intelligence. In another section of the facility, engineers worked on a revolutionary propulsion system. It wasn't just about moving faster. It was about moving in ways that defied current understanding of physics. Aria projected a holographic simulation of their progress. Current survival probability has increased from 12.7% to 37.4%, the AI reported. Technological advancement rate exceeds all previous human records. Yoon looked at the faces around her. They were no longer just humans defending themselves. They were becoming something more, a species reborn through adversity. Training. Simulations ran constantly. Soldiers practiced with new weapons that seemed to move as if they were alive. Their movements were enhanced, their reflexes pushed beyond previous human limitations. "We're creating more than an army," one of the lead scientists explained to Yoon. "We're creating a species that can survive anything." The alien attack had been meant to destroy humanity. Instead, it had sparked the most significant evolutionary leap in human history. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The underground facility became a crucible of human potential. Every failure was a lesson, every breakthrough a weapon. Aria continued its constant analysis. "Adaptation is our strength," the AI would repeat. "Where they see weakness, we create opportunity." As Titan continued its silent orbit around Saturn, the last remnants of humanity prepared. They were no longer running. They were no longer hiding. They were becoming something the galaxy had never seen before. The first strike came without warning. 3 massive alien fleet command centers simply vanished, erased from existence in a moment of quantum-entangled destruction that defied all known laws of warfare. Ji-won Choi stood in the command center of the horizon, her fingers dancing across holographic controls. Each movement was precise, calculated. Behind her, the modified human strike team waited, their enhanced bodies humming with modified genetic energy. "Target acquired," Aria announced. The AI's voice was different now, No longer just a computer system, but something more alive, more aggressive. The weapon was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. A missile that wasn't just a missile. It was a living weapon. An AI-driven projectile that could think, adapt, and change its course mid-flight. Where traditional weapons followed predictable paths, these moved like living creatures, hunting their targets with an intelligence that seemed almost supernatural. Alien communication channels erupted in confusion. Their defensive systems, designed for conventional warfare, couldn't comprehend the attack. Each projectile seemed to know exactly where to strike, bypassing shields, penetrating defenses that had stood unbroken for thousands of years. They're using our own technologies against us, one alien commander transmitted in panic, not realizing humans could intercept their communications. Ji-Wan allowed herself a small smile. Revenge was a dish best served cold and technologically advanced. The first wave of attacks was just the beginning. Human ships, previously thought destroyed, emerged from hidden quantum tunnels. They were different now, sleeker, more dangerous. Each vessel carried the mark of humanity's transformation. Arya projected real-time battle maps. Red indicators showed alien fleet positions. Blue indicators, human forces, moved with a precision that seemed impossible. They weren't just fighting. They were hunting. Entire alien communication networks began to collapse. The adaptive human technology spread like a virus, breaking down systems that had been considered unbreakable. Each successful attack made humanity stronger, more adaptable. We are no longer the species they tried to destroy, Ji-Wan said quietly. We are something new. The counteroffensive wasn't just about destruction. It was a statement. Humanity was showing the galaxy that they were not victims. They were predators. Advanced sensors on the horizon tracked multiple simultaneous attacks. Human strike teams, enhanced with genetic modifications, moved through alien ships like ghosts. They were faster, stronger, more intelligent than any biological entity the aliens had encountered. One by one, alien strategic points began to fall. Not through brute force, but through an intelligence that seemed to predict and counter every possible defense. Arya's calculations were instantaneous. Probability of total strategic victory, 87.6%, and rising. The alien leadership began to understand the true horror of what they had started. Humanity was not just fighting back, they were evolving in real time, turning each battle into a learning experience, each loss into a technological breakthrough. Quantum communication networks lit up with scattered alien transmissions. Panic, confusion, fear. They had tried to kill humanity. Now humanity was showing them the true meaning of consequences. Ji-Wan watched the battle unfold. What had started as a desperate attempt to survive was now a calculated campaign of technological revenge. Each attack was a message, each destroyed. Alien installation a warning. We are not going extinct, she whispered. We are rising. The horizon moved through space like a phantom, leaving destruction in its wake. The laws of warfare were being rewritten. The galaxy was learning a brutal lesson about underestimating humanity. As the first phase of the counteroffensive concluded, one thing became clear. This was no longer about survival. This was about dominance. Humanity had entered the galactic stage, and they were here to stay. Alien civilizations watched in horror as human forces swept through their territories like a technological wildfire. What had begun as a simple extermination attempt had transformed into humanity's most brutal revenge. Captain Hyun Park stood on the bridge of the infinite horizon, her enhanced eyes scanning multiple holographic displays. Each screen showed another, falling alien stronghold, another civilization crumbling under humanity's relentless assault. Arya's voice cut through the silence. Strategic breakdown complete. Alien resistance capabilities reduced to 0.2%. The transformation was total. Humans were no longer the species that had once been nearly wiped out. They had become something else entirely, a force of technological evolution that rewrote the rules of galactic conflict. Genetic modifications turned soldiers into living weapons. Each human fighter could heal within seconds, process information faster than advanced computer systems, and adapt to any combat scenario in milliseconds. One by one, alien defense networks collapsed. Their most advanced technologies looked like primitive toys compared to human innovations. Quantum communication systems that could predict attack vectors, adaptive weapons that learned and changed mid-battle, neural networks that could outthink entire alien command structures. They thought we were weak, Hyun muttered, watching another alien fleet disintegrate. The revenge was systematic, calculated. Not just destruction, but complete dismantling of entire civilizations. Humans didn't just fight. They surgically removed threats, learning from each encounter, growing stronger with every battle. Advanced AI systems developed by ARIA could infiltrate and destroy alien infrastructures faster than they could respond. Communication networks, power grids, defense systems, nothing was safe. Alien leadership transmission intercepted. How are they doing this? The answer was simple. Humanity had been pushed to the brink of extinction and had transformed itself into something unrecognizable. Each genetic modification, each technological breakthrough was a middle finger to those who had tried to destroy them. Remote research stations continued developing new weapons, neural interfaces that could control entire fleets with a single thought, quantum weapons that could destroy entire star systems with a precision that defied imagination. We are no longer fighting for survival, Hyun told her crew. We are fighting for dominance. Arya calculated and executed strategies that made previous military doctrines look like children's games. Entire alien civilizations were reduced to data points, their existence erased with clinical precision. The human modification program had created more than soldiers. They were architects of cosmic destiny. Each fighter was a living weapon, each ship a mobile research station that continued to evolve in real time. Alien communication channels went silent, not because they were destroyed, but because they understood the futility of resistance. Hyun watched as another alien defense grid collapsed. The holographic display showed multiple star systems turning dark, not from destruction but from human takeover. We were almost destroyed, she whispered to herself. Now we define destruction. Arya's response was immediate. Correction, we define evolution. The counteroffensive was no longer about revenge. It was about rewriting the rules of galactic existence. Humanity had moved beyond being a species. They had become a force of nature. Genetic modifications continued. Neural networks expanded. Technological capabilities grew exponentially with each passing moment. The aliens had made one critical mistake. They had tried to kill a species that refused to die. And now the galaxy would pay the price. As the infinite horizon moved through space, leaving transformed star systems in its wake, one thing became crystal clear. Humanity was no longer fighting for survival. They were fighting to become the absolute rulers of the cosmos. The galaxy looked different now. Where once hundreds of alien civilizations had dominated, now a single species controlled everything. Humanity. Captain Hyun Park stood on the bridge of the infinite horizon, watching new star systems being mapped and claimed. Her enhanced eyes scanned holographic displays that showed humanity's expanding territory. Area, the advanced AI system, projected real-time galactic maps. Blue indicators represented human-controlled regions. They were spreading faster than anyone could have imagined. We are no longer explorers, Hyun said quietly. We are architects. The transformation was complete. Humanity had gone from a species on the brink of extinction to the most powerful force in the known universe. Genetic modifications had turned humans into something beyond traditional biological limitations. Each human could now survive in extreme environments. Neural interfaces allowed instant communication across vast distances. Healing happened in seconds. Cognitive abilities expanded beyond previous understanding. Research stations continued their work, not for survival anymore, but for pure exploration and advancement. Every discovered technology was rapidly integrated, every alien system analyzed and improved. Alien civilizations that remained were given a simple choice: submit or be eliminated. Most chose submission. The human modification program had created more than soldiers or explorers. They were now builders of cosmic civilization. Entire planetary systems were terraformed within months. Technologies that once took centuries to develop now emerged in weeks. Probability of continued human expansion, 99.8%, Area announced. Hyun watched as another massive construction project completed. A new space station emerged from quantum construction systems, built faster than any previous technology could manage. Communication, networks that once belonged to alien civilizations now served human purposes. Advanced quantum systems allowed instant transfer of information across thousands of light years. The revenge was complete. But it was more than revenge. It was total transformation. Alien historians, those few who remained, would later describe this period as the most rapid evolutionary leap any species had ever experienced. Humanity had not just survived, they had conquered. Scientific discoveries happened at an exponential rate. Medical technologies could now reverse aging. Space travel had become as simple as walking between rooms. Entire planetary ecosystems could be created or destroyed with a single command. We define our own destiny now, Hyun told her crew. The human fleet continued its expansion. Not through aggressive warfare anymore, but through calculated strategic growth. Each new system became a hub of research, development, and integration. Arya continued its constant analysis. Adaptation remains our primary strength, the AI would repeat. Where others see limits, we see opportunities. Diplomatic stations were established, not to negotiate, but to demonstrate humanity's absolute superiority. Alien species that once planned humanity's extinction now served as technical assistants in human research projects. The modification program continued. Each generation of humans became more advanced, more capable. The line between biological entity and technological system blurred completely. Hyun reflected on the journey. From near extinction to galactic dominance in less than a generation, a transformation so complete that the original humans would be unrecognizable. We are no longer human in the traditional sense, she thought. We are something more. The infinite horizon moved through space, a symbol of humanity's journey. Each light year represented another step in their cosmic evolution. Arya's final calculation was simple and absolute. Human potential. Unlimited. As new star systems came into view, Hyun understood the true meaning of their transformation. They had not just survived an attempt to destroy them. They had become the very force of cosmic evolution